All right, welcome back to another episode of Live from the Ley Line. My name is Cameron Porter, and I'm with Avery and as always. How you doing, Avery?
I'm great, good sir. How are you?
I am great, good as well, buddy.
Yeah,
Great, good
we're
as well.
live today. We're live.
Yeah, right on the line, live
Yeah,
from it. We have
yeah.
to be.
Wednesday, we're halfway through.
Yep, yep. It's that day.
Yeah.
It's nice. I use Wednesdays as my Fridays, so I always take Wednesdays off, and so I have that whole day to kind of, I play League in the nighttime, but have the daytime to hash out whatever I need to do, sleep in,
Hell
pay
yeah.
bills and shit.
What else? Don't you have Mondays off or something weird like that too?
It depends sometimes. So usually I'll either have Tuesday, Wednesday, or I'll have Wednesday, Thursday off.
Okay.
Those two. And it's nice. I'll have like 2 days off in the middle of the week.
Yeah.
And lately they've been giving me Saturdays off too, which is
Hell yeah.
nice for the
Hell yeah.
boys.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it.
Yeah, buddy. How have you been since we talked to Brandon?
Oh, good. Yeah. Working out hard. Hard.
Nada.
Hard. Um,
Nada.
yeah.
Oh, good Lord.
I want to
Shout
get
out
into
Ted.
streaming, bro.
Dude, do it.
I really want to.
Do it. Let's do it. Let's fucking stream and talk let's stream and then talk about other video games while we're streaming. We're not
Okay.
allowed to talk about the video game we're playing.
Right? Yeah. That'd be interesting. You like
Uh,
want to call out really bad, but you just can't.
yeah, we're like playing Warzone, but we got to keep going about like fucking Mortal Kombat or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe that's not a good idea. All right, back to the drawing board.
I
uh,
uh I had some wings today, and it reminded me of the idea of eating spicy wings while we try and talk to each.
yes, we need to do that. I need to talk to Nick. That needs to be
Yeah,
a thing we do because that would be fun, man.
we could dial up some like really spicy, deep questions for each other.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be crying out of my mouth and my eyes and my nose.
Oh yeah.
Um, I'm not. I, I do okay with a reasonable amount of spice, but serious spice hurts my day,
Right.
ruins my
Yeah.
whole day. I remember I
Oh
used
yeah.
to work at this like pizza place, and they would make wings and shit too.
Yeah.
It was Russo's in Glenwood,
Yeah.
and they had this Carolina Reaper. It was like a peach Reaper wing sauce,
Yeah.
and my boss would let me. He would like make me try the peach Reaper paste that he would get before he adds it to the sauce, and the sauce is hot, and there's like a little bit of paste in all the sauce, and he
Damn.
like let me try that condensed version. Dude, it seriously made me like sick. Like
Like
my
ill.
stomach
Yeah.
hurt. I had like an allergic reaction. My body was
Yeah.
like, that's poison.
Yep.
You're eating something that will kill you.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was
I
like
mean,
crying out of my neck.
shit like that can put you down for days.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
want to eat
I wonder if
stuff.
anybody's died that way. I'm sure.
I think so, yeah. I think you can have bad reactions and it can just actually like destroy your stomach lining.
That makes a lot of sense. You get a bunch of ulcers.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting thing to look into.
Oh my God.
Um, all right. I thought it would be fun to kind of do a switch up. We've been super deep in the political and as we should be, we always
Right.
talk about uh, you know, demons and the elite and stuff like that. So I thought a little fun switch up. The world of Nazis
Yes.
has always been expanding in a obtaining knowledge state of mind. Like for example, this really big show came out not too long ago, maybe a few years, called Finding Hitler. And I mean, just the mystery behind the freaking Nazis and stuff like that is just so deep, and people learn about it every day. And
Yeah.
so, that being said, I learned something recently that I thought would be really fun to talk about because I highly doubt very many people know about this. But okay, so Hitler takes over Germany, right? He
Mhm.
becomes the whatever you want to call him. I don't even know what they referred to him as other than, Le Fleur or whatever. But
Yeah, so there's like Führer, and at first I'm pretty sure he was like a chancellor or something like that. He like came
yeah,
up through the political system. So it's not like he just grabbed Germany by force. He very strategically, through political advancements,
yeah.
worked his way up and then seized control.
Totally. Yeah. So the story I'm going to talk about is right before they actually even got fully involved in World War II and everything like that. So there's a guy named Heinrich Himmler. Have you
Yep.
heard that name?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, cool. Um he was obviously like way up there, right-hand man. He was kind of on like a Warner von Braun type level,
Yeah.
Nazi commander type guy. And
So he's
so,
who created the SS.
yeah, he created the SS,
Yeah.
help me with this, the Staffel Stufel, something like that.
I don't
Yeah,
fucking know. I
it's
just
basically
know
just
I know
yeah.
SS is just Nazi shit.
Yeah, it's
What the
just
hell did they
basically
call it?
the
We sound like a couple of idiots.
it's okay. I have it.
There's history buffs screaming into their fucking mics right now.
That's all right. It's because we don't know how to pronounce it. I have it right here. It's the Schutzstoffel. That's what it
Oh,
was.
okay. Yeah.
Um, dropping stickers. Get you some.
Shit. Oh yeah, baby.
Um, anyways, crazy shit. So he was obsessed with their ancient roots, and a term for that is used Aryan. Have you heard Aryan before?
Hmm.
And so to sum that up, I think it's just basically a group of indigenous people that were ancient, and that's what they classified themselves based on the language that they spoke, I believe.
Well, and the skin color, they were white. Aryan
Okay,
is like white. It's the
okay,
blue blonde Aryanism is what they call it. And that's
gotcha.
essentially what Hitler and his cabinet were using as the um what the hell would you even call it? Like the frame that they were judging people by. If you fit into this, you can
Totally.
stay.
Like the blue eye blonde hair type thing. Okay,
Exactly. So those
okay,
are
that's what I was a
Aryans.
little confused on because when I just typed in the word Aryan, it gave me a whole article about language and stuff. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Well, and I'm
Anyways,
sure they have their own language too, but it's 2023, so they're pussyfooting. But
right.
it's for sure about race. It's white
Okay.
people.
Okay. So Heimlich Himmler was obsessed with that stuff. And
Heimlich.
so Heimlich, yeah. He uh he started to develop basically these towns and whole civilizations of where he would take Aryan women and have Aryan men marry them, and he was basically trying to just create purebred Aryans, just like how Hitler, their overall goal, right?
Yeah.
What I'm getting to is he was so obsessed with like this ancient like roots of them being like enlightened, powerful people that he set up a, you know, expedition for his soldiers and other high-ranking Nazi officials to go and search for basically Norse relics
Mm,
and artifacts. And he sent people out to Tibet,
that's
and
awesome.
that was one of the more famous ones. Was he sent people to Tibet, and they would go and measure locals' facial structures and stuff like that, and they came to the conclusion that that's where Aryans settled, literally because of like the dimensions of their nose and stuff like that.
Weird.
And it was crazy. And so he sent obviously people to like Poland and Iceland and stuff like that as well,
Hmm.
Sweden. And he was specifically looking for Mjolnir, which is Thor's hammer.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
so there's speculation as to if he truly believed that it was a hammer. People think that he was mostly referring to like an ancient weapon of their people that was just a giant electromagnetic weapon that could shut
Mm,
down everything. And so
wow.
um there's no reports on if they ever found anything actually on it, but knowing the Nazis and how deep they would go with their technology and stuff like that, I wouldn't be surprised
Yes.
if they did find stuff, whether it was real or not.
Well, and they were on a huge hunt. They were looking for the Holy Grail. They were looking for the Ark of the
That's
Covenant.
true.
They were looking
Yeah.
for every artifact, I think is what it
Yes.
was. They were trying to find all the magical shit. They were on this like
Yes.
mystical hunt,
Yeah.
and I think that's a lot of what World War II was for, and that's what the
Yeah.
Nazis were pushing for. People chalk it up to say that, and I do believe this is partly true, but they say that the Nazis were only fighting an oppressive system of Jewish control in these banking families.
Right.
But I think it's a lot deeper than that. And it's cool that you bring up Thor's hammer with Heinrich Himmler, because with him creating the SS symbol, it's two lightning bolts.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
and I think that just goes to show his affinity for Thor. Oh, Cameron got all fucked up. That's all right. But it's very interesting. I think he believed that he was a descendant of Thor because they
Yeah.
believed that these deities that they talk about were ancient. I think they talked about them as like Atlantean people
Yeah.
that made this like hybrid magic race of humans,
Yeah.
and then the humans started like procreating with less evolved ape-like Neanderthal creatures, which
Yes.
essentially bred out the divinity.
Yep.
And they were trying
Yeah.
to get
So
back to that original divinity.
yeah. So thank you for summing that up because
Yeah.
that's he was trying to continue that. And so just like any other, it was literally a cult. He was super into occultism. And
Super into occultism. I would argue, like, I did a deep dive about it. I don't even know how much Hitler really knew about the occult stuff. I think he was used as like a talking head
yeah,
for all these occultists
yeah,
to further their
absolutely.
agenda. Yeah.
And so just a couple more things that was interesting about it is just like any good cult, Himmler had a shrine and it ended
Mhm.
up being a castle. I
That's
thought that was
awesome.
kind of interesting as well.
That's awesome.
And but so another interesting part was part of this new religion that he was basically trying to push was they full blown were worshiping Odin. They had another word for him, but it meant Odin.
Wow.
And so I just thought it was so crazy that these all powerful Nazis were out looking for. They also were looking for Odin's spear. They
Which
were
could
looking,
also be argued is the spear of Longinus.
yeah, yeah,
Um, for the people that don't know at home, the spear of Longinus was the spear that Jesus was poked with while he was on the cross.
yes,
And there's been a lot of cultures that revere that spear. That was another interesting artifact and it seems like the Nazis found that artifact. I was doing some deep dive, and I think they actually found that spear. And the lore is that whoever carries that spear and holds their armies in front of it shall win any war. It was like one of
basically,
those kind
yeah,
of things, which
yep,
is very indicative of things like the spear of Leonidas or the spear of Odin, which is a common theme I've found in this podcast. The same, like different stories saying the same shit,
yeah,
talking about the same thing. I think that's pretty cool.
yeah, hell yeah. So yeah, I just thought it would be fun to kind of throw that out there. I did not know that fucking Nazis were out looking for Thor's hammer. You
That's
know?
so cool, and that's so
Yeah.
like that fits right into like the Nazi zombie like
Yes.
lore of them being these like mystic occultists just on a hunt for anything of you know value
Yeah.
mystically.
Yep.
I think that's very very compelling. Um, yeah, their beliefs were pretty weird. I'm not gonna lie. They believed that they were descendants, which is another common theme you hear from people like the Jewish faith. It's funny
Yeah.
because Hitler's saying the same thing that the Jews were saying, opposite. He's
Yeah.
saying, no, we're the chosen people. We're the ones that were bred from the gods. And then our
Right.
bloodlines were mudded, which is exactly what the Jewish faith says about these
Yep.
ancient tribes, is that they were direct descendants of God.
Yep.
But oh shit, where was I going?
Just how interesting it is that all these elites think that they are descendants of
Oh yes,
like
yes. Just the whole belief itself. So they were the descendants of these like ancient alien creatures
yeah.
that because they got bred with people like um they claim the Jews
Yeah.
were the lesser people. That's what they claim, YouTube. That's not my opinion.
Right.
Uh, um but so that's why he has such beef with the Jewish people, is because he believes that they're a parasite on the divine bloodline. And that if you get rid of the impure and then only breed the pure within like 4 or 5 generations, you have only divine left.
Yeah.
You know, and we start to gain powers. They believed we had these powers, that we were clairvoyant and we had telepathy. And this is something that you hear from Atlantean mythology and
Yeah.
lore, is that these people could speak telepathically. And I think that's very like it fits right into the story. And so
Oh,
it
totally.
seems pretty feasible, you know?
Yeah.
Dude, can you hear my dog squeaking back there? She's going ham on a squeaky toy.
It's okay.
Sorry for the folks at home if you can
It's all
hear.
right. I only heard just like the littlest faint, like one of them. It's not a problem.
Okay, good.
Um, yeah, crazy shit, man. Not to mention, it's been talked about so much, but I think it would just be fun to reiterate that Hitler did not like let's make that a whole new slogan. Hitler didn't kill himself.
Yeah.
You know,
Hashtag Hitler didn't kill himself.
if people didn't know, um, they finally got like the CIA finally released documents on like the body.
Hmm.
They finally were able to take samples and stuff, and the body and the skull. It was the head. It was what it really was the head of Hitler. They did tests on it, and it ended up being the head of a middle-aged woman.
Hmm. Yeah, it
It
was a
wasn't even
woman.
him.
Wasn't even a
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Well, there's the common I wouldn't even call it a theory. I think it's just an understanding that a lot of German population, whether you want to believe Hitler was involved or not, an incredible population of Germans moved to South America,
Oh
namely
yeah.
Argentina,
Oh yeah.
and set up shop. So I don't know what that tells you, but
Yeah.
it's
We
pretty cool.
also we also cherry picked the good ones and brought them here,
Well, I mean, that's just good business.
as we've talked about multiple
Yeah.
times. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's just like a good checkers player, dude. You get to the end of the board and you take a little piece of your player's pie. It's like, all
Yeah.
right, give me those best ones,
Yep.
you know? Um, and come on, how we wouldn't have gotten to the moon otherwise, Avery.
Right.
Come on. We needed them.
Have
um,
you seen conspiracy for the director and writer of The Shining?
Kubrick?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard a
He
couple. Which one?
okay, so in the movie The Shining, there's all kinds of subliminal messages related to Apollo 11.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So I've heard that he was tasked with filming the Apollo 11 space mission.
okay, so that's exactly what I'm getting at is people think that he actually filmed and directed the whole moon landing scene.
Yeah. And then he kind of throws you Easter eggs with like the kid wearing the
Yeah,
spaceship
the
shirt.
shirt,
It
the room
reaches,
numbers over and over again with like the
yeah.
exact mileage to the moon, 237, I think it is, 237,000 or
See,
million or
that's
whatever.
compelling. That's
Yeah.
compelling. But it's also it's a stretch.
Yeah, it is. It
It's a
is. It's
bit of a
just a fun
stretch.
one. I'm just
But
throwing it out there.
there's a lot of fun conspiracies about Kubrick as well that he like was trying to put out these messages
Yeah.
from the deep state or whatever, this cabal of people. He was trying to put their messages out through his movies, through things like 2001 A Space Odyssey,
Yeah.
where he talks about, there's the first scene with the obelisk and it talks about the you know, intelligence being seeded onto Earth by an alien.
Yep.
And it just touches on all these different ideas, AI with Hal, all this like super cool shit. And then
Well,
there's
how about one of his later movies, the Secret Society one,
Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes
Yeah.
Wide Shut? That's the
Yep.
one. Yeah.
Well, he died right after that.
Right after that.
Right after that movie, and what the hell? What the word I'm looking for? Um, either way, he filmed a really long orgy scene at the end that like kind of blew the top on everything they're doing in these secret Hollywood parties.
Yeah.
And it got after he died, it got like whittled down to like
Yeah.
probably the bones that they were like, okay, yeah, you can show this.
Yeah.
And I would love to see that full scene. For
Yeah.
folks that haven't seen the movie, I don't want to give too many spoilers, but it's essentially about this guy who infiltrates like a secret society that use sex magic
Yeah.
with like satanic or like orgy rituals, I guess.
Yeah. Totally.
Good movie. Scary.
Super scary.
It's freaky. If secret societies scare you, it's a terrifying movie.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you guys should watch it though. This
Oh
guy,
yeah.
Isaac Weishaupt, that I listen to, he does what the hell is the name of it? Unpopular culture and conspiracy theories, I think is what they call it, or occult
Yeah.
symbolism and conspiracy theories. And it's a podcast I listen to, and he's also written a bunch of books. And he wrote a book called Kubrick's Code, and I haven't read it, but from what he talks about and the kind of expertise that he has about the symbolism that Kubrick was putting in to all of his movies, And Stanley Kubrick did A Clockwork Orange as well, which is an adrenochrome movie.
Oh
Like
shit.
he was dropping all sorts of movies with this kind
Yeah.
of stuff in there. Um, yeah, I need to
Super
watch.
awesome.
I need to have like a Kubrick marathon movie night.
Hell yeah. Are you playing Rocket League right now, bro?
Dude, it was so funny. On the last interview, I look over and I see like there was like lights flashing
Yeah.
on your face, and it was like blue, green, red, yellow,
What
green,
the
blue, red. And
fuck?
I was like, and then your eyes like you were probably just like reading something, but it
Yeah.
looked like you were like darting around. And I in my head, I was like, oh my God, this is hilarious. Like homie's out here playing Rocket while we're on the video.
Just a little quick rocket sesh.
That's what I thought. I
Oh.
was like, hell yeah, dude. If you can manage to do both at the same time, good on you. Oh Lord.
I
Oh, that's funny.
it's cool that you said um that the spear is also attributed to like Leonidas's spear. I
Hmm.
just recently listened to another deep dive on that battle. I'm gonna butcher the name again. I'm so sorry. I'm horrible with it, but the battle of the 300 Spartans was Battle of Thermo Thermopylae, Thermopylae, something like that.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. And so it was true that Leonidas did not get the blessing from the Oracle to go to war, and therefore he just took 300 of his best soldiers
To go
and
die.
basically said we're gonna go on patrol to the hot gates, But the only part that wasn't true about that movie is well, not the only part, many things, but it wasn't actually just 300 Spartan men on his 200-mile march to the hot gates. He picked up about 7,000 other Greek soldiers that were willing to fight,
Badass.
and they held off for 3 days.
I love
And
how they
it,
chalk it up like it was only 300 dudes.
yeah, imagine
They stuck to
against,
that story. They're like, that sounds way better.
yeah,
If
against
they
half a
ask, if they
million
ask, tell them
Persians.
about the Greeks.
Yeah,
We don't have to
yeah,
put that in the headline.
yeah. Against, half a million Persians or whatever, but
Which is crazy. That
so
was
crazy.
Ramses, right? That was the king. That was
Xerxes.
Xerxes.
Yeah,
Oh, that's such a cool name.
it is. The way it's spelled too
Jesus
is
Christ.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a
but so
badass. For folks that haven't seen that movie, you got to watch that movie. It's
yeah,
almost done in like a cartoon or like a comic book
yep,
gore fashion.
yep,
Incredible.
yep,
It's so
exactly.
good.
Yeah, the director is what makes that movie so good,
Yeah.
so good. Um, but yeah, they held off for 3 days and then they ended up getting flanked. But that battle right there inspired the rest of Greece to fight back against Persia. So Leonidas was like a golden beacon of hope. I
Yeah.
love that story so much, dude.
Me too. Me too. It's one of the greatest stories of like of
Heroism.
yeah, and valiance.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
standing up with courage in the face of your own death. You know you're gonna die. There's
Yeah.
literally no chance you make it alive. It's like you're getting in the ring with Mike Tyson. It's like, how
Yes.
long can I survive?
Right.
Not am I gonna win?
Yeah.
Can I not die?
Yeah.
Is that
Can
possible?
can you at least show that Mike Tyson bleeds? You know?
Yes, which is what they did. That's what
Yeah.
they did to the Persian army.
Yep. I
Um,
love it. I love shit like that, dude. All movies like that have like an epic show of triumph where you die for something. That shit gets me
mhm.
going, dude.
Me too. Me
Probably got a
too.
little bit of that Valhalla in me.
Oh, I know for sure I've got some Viking blood in me.
Yeah.
I know it for sure.
Gotta
But
die in battle.
yeah, battle calls to me, but
Yeah.
we're in 2023, so I just get on Facebook and become a keyboard warrior.
Twitter fingers. Yep, yep. Hell
Good
yeah,
Lord.
man.
Really quick before we get off the subject of these guys,
Yeah.
um, would you rather be ruled by the Romans or the Persians?
Uh,
Like, say you were like a third party country and you're getting conquered.
it's just a really tough call, for the Romans. If you were upper class, you lived really well
Yeah.
and you could party your ass off and engage in all kinds of heinous acts. So if you're higher class ruled under the Roman, you might be okay. But for the Persians, I guess it's kind of the same thing, but there was mostly slaves for Persia.
Yeah.
If you were conquered, you were a slave. Unless, of course, you were higher class and Xerxes would offer you, you get to keep ruling and do whatever as long as
Yeah,
you
he
bow
would
down to me.
exactly.
So
And they
that
would
would be
keep
okay.
they would keep your religion installed. They wouldn't force any sort of they
Yeah.
wouldn't force any lifestyle on you. They'd say, "Hey, you just there's a tax now and this is my land."
Yeah. Yeah. So for the middle class, under those circumstances, either way, I guess you're kind of okay. But
Hmm.
if you're if you're lower, you're fucked either way.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a
So I
good
don't know.
point.
I guess I would have to, for me to actually decide that, I'd have to really look at who's actually leading it.
Do you think that's why poor
How
people don't care who the
evil are
president
you?
is? Because
Yeah,
they're like they're like, well,
they're fucked.
I'm poor either way.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
That's me, folks. It's me. I'm the poor one. I don't care who's president.
Yep.
It's funny
Um,
stuff.
yeah.
Well, back to the Nazis because I've got some good shit about the Nazis. Um,
Yeah, sir.
and just about like the occult ties that they have. Um, we were talking about Heinrich Himmler, and there was also this man. His name was Rudolf Hess, and they were like Rudolf Hess was like essentially like a Crowley character. He was an occultist, very high up in these different orders. Um, really knew what he was doing with the occult. And I would say he was one of the big driving forces for all the occult nature of what the Nazi party was doing.
Damn.
But it's cool because there was this guy. Uh, I need to pull up his name because it's German and I can't say it right.
Right. That was my problem too.
Yeah, I got to get it pulled up so I can sound it out like a third grader. Lons von Liebenfels.
Yeah.
You know
Yep.
who I'm talking about?
Yep.
So this dude, um, he was he was doing his work before the Nazi party even really became a thing. He was doing shit in like the 1890s. He was born in Austria, and when he was like 19 or so, he joined a monastery, and apparently, like the next year, he had reached enlightenment, which is sick, man. I want to go to that monastery. It
Yeah.
sounds like they got the G Pass fast track.
Yeah.
That's the Hustler Universities of Enlightenment, dude.
Yeah, yeah. That's
um,
awesome.
but so he says he reached enlightenment when he discovered the grave of a Knights Templar, oddly enough. And so he created the Order of the New Templars. And he,
Wow.
yeah, started doing his own Templar work and shit.
That's
And
insane.
is that pretty cool?
He probably like took the sword out of their hand. You know how they're buried like this?
Oh,
Probably like touched the sword and was like zapped in or
imbued with
something.
it. That's awesome. I didn't even think like that.
Right.
Um, what was I looking for here? But yeah, he was the one who developed these ideas of blonde blue Aryanism and lower races.
Damn.
From my knowledge, he's like one of the
Yeah.
earliest proponents of this, who actually was writing it down and talking about this kind of shit. But he published this thing called the Biblical Man Animal, which is a journal on biblical studies talking about um, lower races
Damn.
and talking about like making a separation between what they called what the hell did they call them? They used a weird word. It was theosa and anthroposa,
Yeah.
pozoa. And that just means like god men and ape men. And he was making this distinction that these Aryans are these god men. This is the god blood or the Ubermensch or
Yeah.
Supermensch. You ever
Yeah.
heard
Yeah.
that phrase?
Yep.
That's what they were searching for, and that's what they believed these, Theozoas to be.
Damn.
These magic people. And so he starts coming, and these are all ideas that he comes to after going to this monastery in Austria. And it's just so interesting. I wonder who the hell put that idea in his head. Or maybe he had that idea by himself. That's another thing you always wonder. Like, did somebody whisper in his ear and he like
Right.
amalgamated these different opinions, or was it just like Einstein where he's showering and he fucking thinks of the theory of relativity,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. God,
Um,
that stuff is so crazy deep and
yeah.
insane, dude. There's stuff out there that I've seen where some of the I think Hitler himself and some of them believed that black people were like fallen angels.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why they're like tainted people or some
Yeah.
horrible theory, but I've
And the
seen some
sons
crazy
of
shit
fallen
about it.
angels.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that fits right into the like the idea of there being ape men and god
Yeah.
men.
Yeah.
And the god men are the people that were native to this planet, I'm sure, or like I don't even know what they believe about that. If they were
I know.
aliens or I don't know. It's very interesting. But as I was saying before, he started this thing called the new temple, like the new order of the temple for
Damn.
like Templars,
Yeah.
and it's very interesting. Goes super deep into this idea. He writes this book called Theozoologia, which
Yeah.
just breaks it down about these godmen. Um, I'm gonna butcher the shit out of this German name on the podcast
Let's
live for
go for it.
everybody.
Let's go for it.
Theozoologia oder die Kunde van den Sodoms Afflingen und dem Gotter Elektron.
Sounded like you kind of knew what you were doing.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
I'm a German deep state baby. I'm
uh,
Avery's handler.
yep.
Oh, good lord. Um, but yeah, he basically in this book he breaks down the idea that there were these godlike creatures that ended up mating with these animal-like women creatures,
Mm,
and because I guess they were sexy, bro. They had that ass on top,
yeah.
and so and so they started hooking up with them, as any gentleman would,
Damn.
and
We thought Earth girls were easy.
you should try that ape ass. Oh
Yeah.
God,
Yeah,
that's some forbidden fruit I don't want to taste, bro.
I'm cool. I'm cool.
I'm good on it. But then, so he starts the Order of the New Templars, and this is interesting because in the Order of the New Templars, they were actually the first to use the swastika in relation to this blue blonde Aryanism ideal. They were using the right facing swastika, so it's mirrored, but it's the same thing, and they would use that in their order rituals and whatnot to symbolize for different things. And I just thought that was interesting that the idea of using the swastika probably got co-opted from this new order, or like the Order of the New Templars.
Yeah.
Um, very compelling stuff.
Hell yeah.
Very compelling stuff. But this this idea that he created, theozoology, which just meant that there were god creatures, which is it's a weird word to use. It's like you
Right.
think of zoology, you think of like, a zoo with different animals, and this just gives the idea that this is another specific species, or
Yeah.
lineage of species. But this idea forms into, I can't remember what the full name of it is, or if it's pronounced like this, but it's theozooism, essentially.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
the belief of that. And then there was uh, I don't want to get it wrong. I don't want to butcher it for the podcast peoples. But essentially, there was a religion that got created from this idea, and it spread across through Germany and Bavaria and Austria, these countries that were all right in this Middle Eastern bloc, or like Middle
Damn.
Eastern Europe bloc.
Yeah.
And then the gentleman who Adolf Hitler shared a prison cell with while he wrote Mein Kampf
Yeah.
was a big proponent of this religion.
Wow.
And so it's there's almost a clear line from this dude, uh, von Liebenfels, and Hitler creating Mein Kampf, and that this idea was seeded because of this.
Wow, dude.
Isn't that cool?
And so that guy must have tapped into something that many, many cultures around the world also tapped into because you see you see human animal hybrids in religion
Yeah.
from Egypt to Hinduism to all kinds of stuff.
Yes.
So they're all tapping into something with that.
And I think a lot of them. are influenced by the previous one,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Because it says it in this article I was reading, it talks about how he was influenced by um it looked like Egyptian, had like an eagle head with a man body.
Probably. Yeah.
Um yeah. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, he was saying that he was comparing his idea to these Eastern traditions that he was seeing that were pretty close to where he was at, meaning like Babylonian, um, uh, Hindu, all of these religions, Egyptian, they all have these hybrids. Roman even with the Minotaur,
Yeah.
you know, and the centaur, I think, is a like a
Yeah.
Roman idea. Um, it's just so compelling that these kind of ideas seem to pop up in different places organically, like they're
Yeah.
downloads into somebody, and then
Yeah.
they put this idea on paper and like a religion sprouts from it. It's so
Yeah.
weird.
I know.
And it's weird how that happens like that, but
God.
it's even more compelling to think that because everybody attributes all of the malice of World War II to Hitler himself.
Yeah.
And I think that Hitler was somebody who was really, first of all, really good at talking and really good at avoiding getting killed.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why he was in the position he was in for so long. But I think it was his whole cabinet running shit, just like our U.S. president. It's the same thing,
Just sort of like what we see now. Yeah.
just like what's going on everywhere else.
No,
It's the
that's
same
fire,
thing.
dude. That was
Yes.
fire right there.
Thank
I
you.
like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was some very compelling stuff.
I wonder what they would have made their, you know, main, what would you even call it, their mascot? What would a German super or god animal be?
Mm, probably like the Avatar people,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
just white, not blue. Just a white, blonde haired, blue eyed Avatar person.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Um, yeah, I think that's about it from this dude. I mean, there's a bunch more, but I don't want to get preachy with it.
Right,
I just
right.
think it's very interesting stuff. And it's easy to draw the connection quick that these seemingly occult ideas learned in a monastery, or you could call it a mystery school.
Yeah.
It's just in a different spot, so it's not called a mystery school, but that's what a
Right.
Montessori is. It's what they do. They work on occult practices. They're trying to touch into magic,
Yeah.
you know.
Damn, bro. Well, that gives me an idea. We should get into soon. We should get into an episode on like deep diving on where did all these legends actually come from when it comes to like, I don't know, maybe the Kraken of the sea
Ooh,
or, I think it'd
I'm
be fun to get
down.
into that kind of.
We should each like pick two or three,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
we'll deep dive and then tell each other on the podcast. I think that would be
Yes.
sick.
That would be fun, bro.
Yeah,
I've been
that'd be a
playing a
lot of
lot of
fun.
Sea of Thieves lately. I'm in
Nice.
my pirate mode.
Oh, that game is so addicting, but it's so
Yeah.
frustrating until you get going.
It really is because it takes hours to get a good stack of loot on your ship, and then
Yeah.
you can just get sunk in an instant.
Oh, I know it.
6 hours of your life for nothing, you know?
Literally nothing. I've rage quit that game more times than any other game, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then you rage quit and you got to start again. You're like, fuck. You honestly, you probably just need the fucking boys.
Yes,
It's probably one of those kind of things.
absolutely.
Ah, well, I love it. That sounds like a great idea. I think we
That'd
should
be
gear up
fun.
for that.
Yeah.
That'll be good, man. That'll be good.
Shit, man. You gonna go play pool?
Yep, it might be about that time. I gotta go show these old people how it's done.
Yeah. You still climbing? Still working
um,
for that Vegas spot?
oh, of course,
Yeah.
always, always.
Yeah.
We're not doing well this session right now. We're only
Yeah.
like we're in like fifth place right now, so
Okay.
I don't think we'll even get wild card. We'll see. We'll see. The
Keep
playoffs work.
grinding.
Yeah, they work a
Keep
little
grinding.
difficult. If we do well tonight, tonight's the last week of the regular season. So if we do well tonight and we blow our opponents out of the water, might have a fighting chance of getting onto that wild card to fight for the fourth spot.
Well, shit,
Other,
dude, pop an Adderall or something.
yeah. We'll go do a spell. I'm gonna go channel Heinrich Himmler. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, good Lord.
Geometry.
I love it. I love it. I might probably just do some mushrooms. That works better than an Adderall.
There you go.
I
Yeah.
like the fucking geometry on the table.
You're just tapped in.
Yeah, it's like I have
Uh,
night vision, but it's light out.
that's
It's weird.
awesome.
Weird.
But yeah,
Uh,
man, if you don't have anything else, I think it's nice to kind of keep it short and simple.
yeah,
I
that
think the
sounds good to
viewers
me.
will appreciate a shorter one, don't you?
Yeah, yeah, condensed, packaged in. They don't have to hear us rant like retards.
Yeah.
Shit, are we allowed to say that? I
Well, we
said it,
said it. We
bitch.
said it. We didn't, but it was said 150 times last
We said,
episode. So,
well, I helped. I said it at least once. Dude, it's just fun. Once the seal is broken, as you
yeah,
will, it's fun to
yeah.
say.
Oh yeah.
And it pisses me off that that word's been co-opted.
It pisses me off. That's just a huge issue in general. You can't attack freedom of speech,
Well, and it's
even if
thought
it hurts
police.
people's feelings. You know.
Yeah, it's thought police, essentially
Yeah.
what it is. And that gets really 1984 really quick.
Yes.
Gets Orwellian very fast. You can't thought police.
Yeah.
I
Kind of
don't
like
care
how we
if you're
talked about
offended.
last time. Like how you're not going to tell me what I mean by it. I
No,
just mean you're being
exactly.
stupid.
Correct.
I'm not saying I'm making fun of you because you're disabled. That's horrible,
No, yeah,
obviously.
that's
Like,
exactly. Well, and like any person that's not stupid wouldn't say something like that. They know what they're doing when they're using this kind of word.
yes, yes.
Hate that we have to sit the folks down on our knee and explain to them like children.
Yeah, dude.
But
Well, man, it's crazy. We're at 21.
man,
Before you know it, we're gonna be at 100.
I know it. I know
That'll be
it.
crazy.
We'll have to like switch up our theme song
Yeah,
and like get a new cover like it's a new season.
yeah. Just grow, baby.
I love it. I
Hell
love it.
yeah.
I just got the RSS feed like account made today. And so we're
Okay.
going to be switching over to rss.com. We've been hosted with Anchor for 20 episodes and we're just not seeing the kind of growth that we would like. So
Yeah.
we're going to go over to RSS, see what kind of opportunities they have for growth, see if we can maybe get some ads rolling.
Hell yeah.
I think that'll be nice. For the folks that are still listening, God bless you. And go to the Patreon,
Yeah.
patreon.com/live from the Ley Line. It's that easy, ladies and gentlemen. And
Yeah.
you get a sticker. There's no exclusive content right now because at the end of the day, with the dreaded day job, producing this podcast is enough. And I think especially if we get to a weekly basis with this, there's going to be no time for me to be making extra videos and content, editing
Yeah.
all of it. It's unfeasible. Maybe I'll do like little pop-ins on my phone, but it's not going to be stuff like this, you know.
Yeah.
Who
Shit.
knows?
Just one of us just got to hit the lottery and then we'll make content all day.
Amen. Amen. For ladies and gentlemen that want to send us lottery tickets, um, I'm not gonna give out my address. You can text me.
Text them.
If you want to give me lottery, text me. If you don't have my number, you don't know me well enough to give me lottery.
Yeah.
That's what it is, baby.
Love
All
it.
right.
All
That's
right,
it.
yo.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. Avery, I love you.
Thank you. Love you, bro. Peace.
Peace.